Hey guys, Dr. Kyle Loveless here. Today I want to talk to you about gut health and really how that can relate to things like maybe psoriasis or really any autoimmune disease in general, but also just overall health. And I think that gut health, leaky gut, all these different gut or digestive system issues have become a very popular thing, a very common thing for people to talk about now. And I want to kind of set the stage of, all the things like psoriasis and autoimmune issues. Are they really about nutrition? Is it really about what you eat? Is it really about the supplements that you're taking and things like that? Or is it there more to it than the picture? So today's video, I guess, is going to be that there's more to it than just nutrition and nutrition and supplements. Although those are very important, they take stress off the GI tract, they give your body the nutrients and minerals that you need. At the same time, there's way more to it than that, okay? And so let's just think about the digestive system in general. How does the digestive system work? Well, first of all, our nervous system, so our brain, our spinal cord, the autonomic and the parasympathetic nervous system kind of run everything, okay? And so when our nervous system is in a balanced state, digestion, it can be worked optimally, okay? So the nerves actually flow to those organs and run the organs, and so the digestive system really starts with the nervous system. So a good majority of the time, our digestive problems aren't necessary that we've just eaten bad food and things like that, or that we took too many antibiotics. This all plays a role in it, yes, I agree. But a lot of times it's just that our nervous system is stuck in what we call a fight or flight response. And our body's just stressed. It's not in a digestive mode. This relaxed digest food, reproduce mode, this what we call a parasympathetic nervous system response, is really where we're digesting food properly, okay? So just kind of big picture of it all, today I want to talk about just some things you can do to get your nervous system in balance, because that's the big picture. If your nervous system is relaxed and your body's digesting food, your ability to digest that food is going to be way greater than, whether it's healthy or not healthy food, than if it isn't, okay? So if you're eating really healthy food, but your nervous system's out of balance, and you're in a fight or flight stress response, that good food now just sits there, just ferments. It doesn't break down properly. And so how do you know if you have a gut healing problem in the first place? Well, typically the symptoms you're gonna see can be anything from bloating, right? Randomly bloating throughout the day, obviously constipation, diarrhea, pain, things like that. But a lot of times I have patients that come in that don't really know they have a digestive problem until we start to investigate. And what I mean by that is there are other symptoms kind of lead us into that direction, that there might be something going on in the gut. I have a patient right now that I just got off the phone with, and she actually has more hormonal issues symptom-wise, right? Cycles off and things like that. But as we've gone through care and those things have started to change, we're realizing there's actually an underlying issue there in the gut from the inflammatory response that we're seeing still happening in her body, okay? So a lot of times we don't necessarily see those symptoms, but if you're getting bloating every day, if you're constipated, if you don't use the restroom at least once a day, to go in number 2 once a day, if you're getting diarrhea off and on, if you have pain, that's a good sign that there is a gut issue there. If you have an autoimmune response, that's a really good sign that there's a underlying gut problem. But is it just the gut problem, or does it relate back to the nervous system? The latest studies and research has really shown us that it goes back to the nervous system, okay? And so I kind of put together here an approach, and there's a lot of things you can do to help balance your nervous system. At the end of the day, it's about not being in that fight or flight response, okay? And so the main studied things that have shown to help balance the nervous system are going to be your thoughts, okay, so how you see life, your perception, things like that. Toxins, okay, the chemicals around your environment and those not being overproduced. And then also ultimately trauma, so the physical stuff in our environment. So these are the stressors that put us into this response, okay? So we want to look at your thoughts, what you're doing physically each day, and then the chemicals in your environment, okay? One of the biggest physical stresses for most people is actually just sitting at a computer, being like this all day long, staring at that blue light. That overstress puts the body into a stress response. Sitting in this, this position like this. I always say this, but 90% of the stimulation to your brain comes from your spine moving. So if your spine doesn't move, your body goes into that stress response. We all know this. We go outside and walk, and we come back and we feel great, we have energy, but if we sit at a computer, we become very tired, okay? And so that's the key. But how do you balance your nervous system? I'm gonna give you 8 things to do that you can start to do to balance your nervous system for good digestion, okay? We're zeroing in on digestion here. I'm still going with gut health, but I'm talking at a nervous system level. So number 1, and this one sounds pretty simple, but there's a really cool book out there, and it's been out for a long time, and I read it years ago, but it's called The Slow Down Diet. And yeah, we're talking about food a little bit here, but the slow down diet means that you're slowing down when you eat, okay? And so it's not necessarily just about what you eat, but it's how you're eating it and is your body actually digesting it, okay? And so take the time when you're eating, at least take the time, 30 minutes to an hour of taking your time to eat. Don't be running around moving, don't be doing all these other things, and don't forget to chew. I know personally this is probably the hardest thing for me. I mean, obviously I chew, but I mean, I want to get through that meal really quickly, and maybe you're hungry, you're eating really quick, and we miss half the process of digestion. You know, the first part of digestion actually isn't the gut. The first part of digestion is you seeing and smelling the food being cooked, right? So that process of actually preparing the food, seeing it, your mouth starts to salivate, you start to actually get into that digestive mode. And then chewing it is next. So we get all these enzymes releasing in our saliva that help us break down that food. And obviously your teeth, you're there to break the food down. So take the time and make sure you're chewing. I know we all grew up with our parents saying chew this many times or whatever. So make sure you're chewing. And then that sets you up towards way less stress on the stomach and everything down below to have to break that food down, right? So number one, chew your food, take time to eat. I know that sounds simple, but believe it or not, it is actually one that a lot of people are missing. And then the next one is don't eat big meals in the middle of the day. Okay, don't eat big meals when you're moving and you're in more of a stressed response. Most people, you know, throughout their day, we're working. We're meant to get out, whether it's years ago, get out in the field and work, or go sit at a computer or do whatever your job is. We're meant to really create throughout the day, and that creative process in terms of building things and accomplishing things throughout our day, it isn't a stressed response. It's how we do it. Our adrenals start pumping, we get moving, but that's not a digestive mode. Okay, so those are good things, but that's not for digesting food. So if you're having a lunch, at 11:30, 12 o'clock, that's really, a lot of meat, a lot of like fibrous foods, where your body has to digest that food. And if you're doing that for about 30 minutes and then you go straight into work and back into that fight or flight response, or you never got out of it, that food's not getting digested. So even if you ate a good, healthy lunch, it's just gonna sit there, it ferments, you get gas, feeds bad bacteria, builds yeast. All those things can actually happen from eating the wrong size meals. So at lunchtime, make it simple. A really small, easy digestible food, something from that gut healing diet that I've been putting out there is key, okay? And then number 3, rest after you eat. I know this is a hard one too because we want to accomplish things in our day. But hey, if you're eating at lunch, even if you have a small meal, you still have to digest that food. So after you eat, remind yourself, okay, this food needs to break down. I need to be able to use it. I don't want a gut problem later, or I'm trying to heal my gut now. And so that means just take some time. Take 30 minutes, 20 minutes to take a nap. And it could just be, I know some people have struggle falling asleep in the middle of the day. Just lay down, close your eyes, maybe go out in the sun, get some sun, maybe if you're at work, go sit in your car, and just take some time to let your body digest that food. Really, really important, okay? So the first 3 ones I talked about were dietary focused, but not specifically but how you're eating and then what you're doing afterwards. The next one, I love this one, and this is a great way to balance your nervous system. First thing in the morning when you wake up, do your best. If it's raining, it's hard, but go outside barefooted and walk around. All right, get in the grass, get on the ground, get the energy from the earth. There's a real thing. There's actually energy coming from the earth, and it's very good to walk outside barefooted and look up at the sun. Look up at that sun, and I'm not saying stare with your eyes, but look in that direction, and that helps to hit the pineal gland. It's kind of a wake up of the body, okay? And that just helps the nervous system be at a good balance, okay? So grounding throughout your day is a very effective one. The next one is chiropractic care. Now this is one that obviously you have to go and you have to pay and you have to be with the right chiropractor that's best for you. But the reason it's so effective is it moves the spine. Remember I said 90% of the stimulation to your brain comes from the movement of your spine. So it's not just about a lot of people think chiropractic, they adjust and the bone goes out, or the bone came out and it goes back in. It's not just about that, right? It's about when we adjust, when we're adjusting the nervous system or the spine, the nervous system actually balances out. Okay, that stress response kind of chills out and the body heals. And this is why, with chiropractic care, I've seen people's digestive problems just disappear. Like come in constipated. I know I have a little girl that's in our office, and one of my favorite stories. She was on Miralax. She actually went to the hospital a few times to have her, because it was impacted in her gut because she wasn't using the restroom. She was so constipated. And this little girl's 10 years old. Her first adjustment, and from that point on, she's going number 2, using the restroom every single day. That's pretty awesome. And all we shifted was getting our nervous system to relax. We got the body moving. We didn't adjust a bone that was out of alignment back in alignment. We got the joints moving, proprioceptive movement, which is one of the best things to help your body adapt to stress. And I've seen everything from constipation, bloating. I've seen ulcerative colitis actually in 4 months go away, from before and after colonoscopy of ulcerative colitis, where it was gone after just doing chiropractic here because it balanced out her nervous system. So if you have gut problems, if you have constipation, bloating, any of these things, find a chiropractor in your area. If you want, if you find somebody you want me to look into and see if there's someone that might be a good fit, I'm happy to do that for you as well. Moving all day long is the next one, okay? If movement in your nervous system and movement of your spine is 90% of the stimulation to your brain, right? And for a body to be calm, we need less physical stress in the body. Well, then movement is going to be one of your best techniques to counteract physical stress in the body. And what I like to do, if you're someone that sits at a computer, I like to get those wobble cushions, okay? They're a cushion that you can sit on, and you move side to side, front to back, and you just get full range of motion throughout your spine. Stretch throughout your day. Do air squats, do jumping jacks, whatever your fitness level is and your ability to do those things. Do push-ups. Go outside, walk around the building if you're at work, but try to get at least every 30 minutes movement. And you say, well, I can't move every 30 minutes. I got to work. Get your wobble cushion, get your exercise ball, and get that movement while you're working. Get you a stand-up desk so you can, or stand-up sit-down desk so you can move into different positions throughout your day. Movement helps calm the body, okay? If you're feeling really stressed, go outside for a walk. It's one of the best things to calm the nervous system. And the reason, again, we're focusing on this nervous system because the nervous system runs the GI tract. If you're stuck in a stress response, your microbiome is going to get affected by it, your mucosal lining is going to get affected by it, your stomach acid gets affected by this. All these things get out of balance when we're stressed for chronic periods of time, okay? So this is why nervous system is one of the most essential things. Next one on there is adaptogenic herbs. I love these adaptogens, and I like them so much because they help, they're things that were put on this planet that help us adapt to stress. It actually helps our nervous system and our adrenals handle stress, okay? And so things like ashwagandha, rhodiola, cordyceps, these are very good ones. Different mushrooms that are very adaptogenic are great. I recommend that everybody, if they can, and if it doesn't have a negative impact on your psoriasis or a negative impact on your other health issues, then be doing mushrooms. Adaptogenic mushrooms are great. There's lots of stuff. I recommend Romania a lot for calming the nervous system. Calming the T cell response in the immune system. But it also can be very effective as an adaptogen, okay? So there's lots of those. And then the last one, number 8, that I'm gonna talk about is, that I wanna share with you to help calm the nervous system. And this one is so effective in that throughout your day, throughout our lives, we get into these kind of focused areas where we can't quit thinking about something, and it creates anxiety and it creates stress. Even at night, you're like, I'm not working anymore, but I still feel stressed out. I still feel this kind of tired and wired mode. One of the most effective things you can do is something called mindful. You've heard of mindful meditation, and yes, that's good. I'm just going to say mindful breathing, meaning breathing techniques that help balance the body. Okay, Harvard did a study on this, and they showed that 4-7-8 breathing actually calms your nervous system. It puts your body back into a parasympathetic response. And so what that means is that if we breathe, this one's 4 seconds in, and then you're holding it for 7 seconds, and then you're breathing out for 8. If we breathe in this slow pattern while focusing on our breathing, so actually imagine the breath coming in, imagine it filling your lungs, imagine the oxygen going to your limbs. This is all you're thinking about. You're just focusing. Mindfulness means you're present. You're mindful about what is happening in the moment. So we're closing our eyes. You're doing these breathing techniques, but you're thinking about only that air coming in, feeding nutrients, feeding things to your body, or feeding oxygen to your body so your body can heal, okay? And that's all you're thinking about during this breathing. And that can be, for some people, 5 minutes is the max you can do. Maybe it's 10 minutes. But taking that 4-7-8, 4 seconds in, 7-second hold, 8-second out is a great percentage, a great usage of it. But be thinking about it. Think about what it's doing to your body. And that's called mindfulness, and that is one of the most researched things for calming the nervous system. And if you're doing those breathing exercises every day, if you're changing the way you're eating your food and how long you're taking to eat your food and what you're doing after you eat, if you add things in like adaptogens and you move all day long, guys, that's going to be one of the most effective approaches to calm the nervous system. And this isn't like you do it once and you no longer feel stressed anymore. But over a period of time, doing this will actually give your body the ability to become more resilient to the stress in your environment. And the inability to adapt, right? Humans are made to adapt. It's called balance, right? We go into this fight or flight mode, we come back. We have a stressor like gravity is a great example. We adapt to gravity by putting down more bone and more tissue to handle the gravity. That's a stressor. Same thing, you go to the gym, you work out, your muscles get broken down a little bit, but now they have to adapt to the stress that's around them, and they get stronger. Okay? And so the more resilient you are, the stronger you get to the stressors in your life. There's a really cool study that showed that if we see stress as something that causes heart disease, cancer, diabetes, things like that, then that's what it's going to cause. But if you see stress as something that's going to actually build you up, make you stronger, give you the ability to do the things you want to do in life, then that's what actually happens. Okay? So you see stress isn't a bad thing. It's our body's ability to handle stress that we need to be focused on in building that resiliency to stress. Those things I just told you today are going to help you do that. And keep watching the other videos that we're doing. Everything I focus in on is how do we reduce stress in the body and how do we make your body more resilient to stress. When you get to that place and your body gets in homeostasis and balance, it will heal. That's what God made our body to do. It made our body to heal, not to live in sickness and disease and all these other things, but for healing, okay? So believe that even though you've tried everything, even though you feel like maybe you've kind of hit a wall, your body's still made to heal, so keep doing the things you need to do to get your body back in balance. Cool. Hey guys, if you like this video, share it. Make sure you subscribe to our channel and hit the update button so they can get you updates on everything, or notification button, so to get whatever the button's called. I don't even know it. Hit that button so it tells you when we put videos out. And finally, if you want to be a part of our community outside of here, we have a psoriasis course we're launching shortly, and you can be a part of that community as well. Just go to the links in the description below and you can sign up for the course, and love to see you in there. All right, you guys have an awesome day. We'll talk to you soon.